So if you've been following the news over the last few weeks, especially on VGN, then you're probably aware of what's been happening with Crytek. They've been going through some financial struggles. They've had a lot of people just completely walk off the job and leave or not showing up to the job. And a lot of that is because they weren't receiving their paychecks on time. So instead of waiting around, they just didn't show up, or they ended up going somewhere else. They also just recently sold off Homefront. So of course Homefront was supposed to be made by Crytek, but now Deep Silver is going to be making that game. So Eurogamer sat down and they talked with Crytek's president, Shavat Yurli. And he was asked a lot of hard questions. And it's actually a really good interview. It's pretty lengthy. I'll leave a link to it below. But I want to focus in on one statement that he made whenever he was asked about people being upset and like walking off the job and everything because they weren't being paid on time. Here's what he said. Some people were very impatient and got angry at the smallest delay. Also, there was a critique of us not being proactive in communication, which we don't understand because we had been frequently in the UK as well as other studios talking about potentially rough times. And we had even shared with people how they should maybe work with different banks at a personal level to prepare. He continued, I was surprised and a little upset that the intention of us keeping together everybody upset a few of them. But I understand the situation. Some people live in a very tight financial planning. That's their own privacy. They can do whatever they want. Those guys, when they get under pressure, it can become emotional. Yeah. I would say it can become emotional probably if you're not the president of a multi-million-dollar company. I mean, could you possibly please sound any more douchier in your statements about people being upset about not receiving a paycheck on time? Everybody in the world I know likes to get a paycheck, and they like to receive it once they're done with their job. And if you're working at a job like a development company where you come in every week, then you get paid on whatever it is that you originally signed up for to be paid on. And yes, a lot of people do live under very tight financial planning. If you look at studies, finances is one of the leading stress things that can come into your life. You look at divorce rates, and one of the top divorce reasons is finances. So yes, finances can cause a huge amount of stress. That's why you go and you get a job and you show up to that job, and when you show up to that job, then you expect to be paid, and you expect to be paid on time. So don't be surprised when people are a little upset when they're not getting their paychecks. Now, Crytek turned around and they did end up getting another financial backer. So they say that as far as they can tell for the foreseeable future, they're in good standing. So they don't plan on having mass layoffs. They are still working on building games. And these people were given their paychecks, and they were given compensation for the delay that they did have in their paychecks. But still, when you're in that situation and you're expecting a check to go into your bank account, and you're watching your bank account and it's not showing up there, and the bill collectors are still there expecting you to give them their money, whether you get a paycheck or not, yeah, it's pretty stressful, Mr. President. Post your thoughts below if you want to read more about it. Links down in the description box. That does it for me, The Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.